Cosplay Stitch and Seam. I'm Pannon.
I'm V-Fire.
And I'm David.
Yay!
Woo!
Welcome back.
We did it. It's 2 weeks in a row, you guys. We did it.
Oh, I'm so happy. It's been a rough week though. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. On that note, where do I even start with that? I do have like a minor retraction, I guess. I don't know if I would call it a retraction, but change in opinion, I suppose. Okay. That came with some of the... Do you remember the episode when we were talking about different reliable TikTok news?
Oh no. What happened?
I just have some like feelings on how different things have been handled recently in the news, and different TikTokers who've covered it and how they've covered it. So rather than like point fingers, I will just say like, make sure you're getting your news from multiple sources, and make sure you are being really well informed and like looking at as many angles as you can to find your truth.
Gotcha.
Just because there's been a lot of misinformation, especially in the televised news lately. I have a lot of feelings about that, which I won't get too into because I don't want to like scare people.
Yeah.
But I'll just say like, please be careful about how you're ingesting your news and forming your opinions, and please look for credible sources. Please make sure you're looking into where those sources come from, and in general, just do your research.
Yeah,
is all I'm gonna say. Anyway,
yeah.
Speaking of interviews, I thought it would be fun since we have. Oh, first of all, let me break.
We forgot to do our maintenance.
I did forget maintenance. I just have a lot of feelings right now.
Yeah.
If you at home have a lot of feelings and you want them to reach us, there are several ways you can do that. The first one is our email, which is cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com.
Or you can go to the website and fill out our contact forms there at cosplaystitchandseam.com, or
go to the Facebook page. We have a fantastic community online. They are so great to chat with. They are always super supportive. They want to see you grow. They're super understanding. They want to communicate. They want to talk through, hey, maybe try this. Been a fantastic community. A lot of like great, open, honest communication of like, I would change this about that cosplay. I don't want to besmirch your work, stuff like that. And if you're not a Facebook person, we have a Discord. Discord is completely managed by us with the fans. It's been so great to see everybody communicating there. We had a really great discourse at the time of this recording the other day, and it was absolutely just like wonderful to see the community like, no, this is what I saw. This is how I would interpret it. There was even like disagreement of like, I don't know if I agree with that statement. I love these people so very much. If you're on the internet and you want to support the show, leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcast. Those help the algorithm. If you have some time, share the podcast with a friend. That's honestly one of the best ways to help us out. And if you have a few dollars in your pocket burning a hole, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/cosplaystitch. For $3 a month, you can get a shout out on the show every single month. And for $5 a month, you can join our Cosplay Chronicles. Much quieter that time. I may have scared the crap out of the other two hosts when I was adjusting the levels.
Oh, no, what?
We do our D&D stream live, and it's so much fun. For those of you who were there and patient with us during our live stream, I have changed the equipment around. Audio should be a lot better, so hopefully it's a lot better next time. But yes, we will do that, and that is my bit. Please take this away from me.
You did great.
Thank you.
Yay.
Oh, thank you, Mercedes. What are
I'm
we
not-
talking about today, you guys?
So I thought it would be fun since, like, I don't know, coming back from a long break, I feel like, kind of like fresh start. Not that like we need to start the whole podcast over or anything like that, but I realize not everyone wants to go all the way back to episode 1 to get to know the basics or to, I don't know, touch on the topics that we had when we didn't have a very good mic and things like that. So I thought it would be fun to kind of do an ask me anything, kind of like open for questions, kind of fun thing, just so that we let people know who we are and why we are talking into microphones.
Yeah, also, it's been like a few years since we've started this, man. We've even changed during that time. It's freaking awesome.
I would happily say that I have changed in that time. I hope so.
I know I have. I definitely know I have.
So yeah, I thought that would be fun. So I thought first, if we all go around and kind of like introduce ourselves, where we got started, where we came from, all the kind of fun stuff we usually ask our guests.
I love it.
And kind of go from there. If you guys want to like follow up with any silly, fun, ridiculous things you've always wanted to know but were afraid to ask.
I love it.
Yeah.
And maybe if like we get a good like little extra questions online, we can do a follow-up on this one.
Oh, yeah.
Cut in a little bit of like, oh, so-and-so asked, like, how did you feel about X, Y, and Z? And we'll be like, well, French stitch tuck weird nonsense is devil's work, and I won't touch it.
Fair.
So I feel like it's only appropriate that if we start with one of the people's who it was their main idea, Mercedes.
Yeah.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Uh-oh. You make me go first.
Yeah.
Well, just do
All
the
good.
intro, and then we can do like the Q&A a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, so I am Mercedes, aka VFire, and I've been doing this a long time. I love cosplay, I love crafting, I love making stuff, to the point that it's part of my professional career. Teaching kids and inspiring others to get into this kind of stuff. Be creative.
Nice.
Yeah.
Tell us, I mean, let's do basics here. Like, where did you get your name VFire?
So, that one's a fun one. So originally it was Vermilion Fire, but fun fact, Vermilion can be spelled a couple of different ways, and I don't know which one's right.
Nice.
But it's a very pretty color. I chose that because that's the color of the red rocks of Utah. I love our state. It's just got gorgeous, gorgeous scenery. And then fire is for fiery passion, for, creativity, that idea of a spark and, just going crazy with the things that you love. So, yeah.
Nice.
Love it.
Well, how'd you get into cosplay?
By force. No, I'm just kidding.
Honestly, that would make a lot of sense for you.
Yes. So years and years ago, many years ago, when I first started college, I still wasn't very good at saying no to things, and I had an amazing college roommate who was very good at getting me out of my comfort zone and made me realize I need to know how to say no. But I have her to thank for putting me in fun and new situations where she still kept me safe.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to try new things and get out of that comfort zone she took advantage of my inability to say no in a good way.
Uh-huh.
I thought she was so cool, and she's amazing. Her name's Jez. She's like the coolest and still is to this day. Like, every time I see her on like social media and whatnot, I'm just like, oh, look at her doing all the cool stuff. But yeah, she took me out and did live action role play, and then Video Games Live came into town, and she's like, hey, you know how we did the LARPing thing? Make a costume for this. We'll all go as a group. It'll be really fun. And we did. And it was fun. And all the costumes there were amazing. And then I went to a convention the week after and was like, saw even more amazing costumes. And I was like, this is it. I had the bug.
It can't be beat.
Excellent. What is your favorite, I guess, element of cosplay? What's your favorite thing to like get into and really sink your teeth into making?
Props are still very high up there. Prop making was my main interest when I first started. I loved making the swords and things, and that still is very high up there. But I also really love just sitting down, popping on an audiobook, and embroidering details for hours.
Nice.
Most people are like, just save up and get a machine, or, applique. Applique is kind of still a part of it, actually. Never mind. But, have a machine do the work for you. And I just love sitting there and just doing it by hand. It's just so zen. Like right now I'm working on my hat for Mega Venusaur, and just kind of it's way more detailed than it needs, but I'm like hand stitching all of the hat line, like the lines for like the tree trunk, and making it the witch hat, and just filling in the color and adding in all these fun little things, and I just love it. It's fun. It takes forever, but that was my decision to do that.
Is there a cosplay that you've done that was like, this is the hardest thing I have ever done in my life, and I'm so stinking proud of it?
Oh, you have to have pride with it. Dang it.
I mean, you could hate it too. I could adjust the rules of the question. I worked so hard and I hate this thing so much.
I mean, that is the artist's dilemma, is it not?
It is. It truly is.
It's more like a love-hate, because like I love how this costume turned out. I hated how it made me feel while making it at certain points. Sergeant Calhoun. I love how it turned out. I hate that it didn't last. Because it fell apart just so quickly. I loved being able to cosplay with my friend Jory. She did Vanellope. And I loved being able to work with oh crap, what was his prop name way back when? Whoa, brain.
You can do it, brain.
Come on, brain, do the thing. Quantum Entanglement Props. That's who. There we go. He's awesome. He makes some like pro level props, and so he made the gun. And he actually gifted that to me a few years back, because he kept the gun, because I mean, why not? It's freaking awesome. But as he was transitioning like his workshop and things like that to different projects, he was like, you want the gun? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes I do. So now I have Sergeant Calhoun's gun. Eventually I want to revisit that costume. Just trying to try it again with if I do the foam route, this is the costume that makes me hate foam. But if I do the foam route on it, I want to do like the Cosplay Apprentice foam, where it's a lot more durable, dense. Like, I actually like working with that foam, and I think I could make something that won't last, that will last more than a few conventions.
Yeah.
Fair. Oh, I wonder on this one. I know you love like learning new techniques and new skills. What is one of your favorite that you've acquired from cosplay? And what is one you want to look into?
Ooh. That's a hard question.
Yeah, that's the point.
I really loved picking up embroidery, and there's like always more to learn from it. Because there's just like a million stitches.
Yeah.
As for like something that I want to pick up still, animatronics.
Ooh,
whoa,
that's fun.
That's a huge jump.
Yeah. My new job that I got a few weeks back, there's a chance of me being able to learn a lot with the animatronics and do some online courses and stuff. So I'm kind of excited.
I always get concerned about stuff like that, of like turning your hobbies into work. Just like monetizing that scares me just half to death sometimes.
Oh yeah, same.
Yeah.
I feel like my current job has a really good balance for it, where it's like, hey, if you want to take this and turn it into a class, let's do it. And I'm like, oh, I am all over that. But then it also has like, if you can't do it, don't do it. It's like, don't force it, but we're also willing to help build your creativity as you're building the creativity and skill sets of these teams. So, yeah.
Nice.
It's more of a support thing, and I appreciate it.
Ooh, I have a question. So I saw this meme going around a while back, and it was like, what topic could you present on for an hour with no preparation? But I want to know one that's fandom and one that's cosplay.
Oof. Ugh. Ugh.
Good grief. Okay.
Oh, that's on you, V-Fire, and not me.
So, fandom, Legend of Zelda lore. I
knew it.
Yeah. I will go down that rabbit hole. I will present 10 hours of that if you want. The students at my old job knew that they could get me off topic if they just brought up Legend of Zelda. I even had the whole timeline up on the board with like extra arrows and things like pointing at stuff, and they were like, "We don't know what you're talking about, but you're excited." I was like, "No, get this!" And this one kid who like had played the games was like, "No way!" Oh,
nice. Give me cosplay.
Cosplay related. I mean, can I include that like I've done panels where I've signed up for them, not prepared, and then walked in and winged it?
Yes, however. That had a Q&A. You don't get a Q&A in this hour.
As far as cosplay related, I think right now it actually would be really fun, just like if I had to impromptu get tossed into it, I would jump in and do something on like our cosplay culture and community. Just because that's been on my mind a lot lately, and I'm really proud of like how much I've seen the different various communities grow, and just I don't know. There's just so many different facets to this world that we are a part of, this creative world.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
I love that.
If you could remake one cosplay, do like a redemption version of it, what would it be?
Sergeant Calhoun.
Oh,
easy! Wow, that was so fast.
That was you were holding on to that one.
Yep.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
What are you working on right now?
Mega Venusaur.
Excellent.
But working on some plans in the behind the scenes for, possible animatronic Amaterasu from Okami.
Whoa.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Panning during our D&D session, I just turned my tablet to her and was like, look at my drawing.
It's very good.
Yeah.
I want to see you build one around one of those like newer what is it? The robots, I guess it would be robots. The ones that like prance around and look like little dogs.
Oh my gosh.
Just build it over the top of that and make it look like Amaterasu. It would be great.
Have you guys seen the BT robots walking around at Disneyland?
No.
Yes, they're so cute.
The Jedi Survivor game, there's a little cute, you can't have a Star Wars show without a robot of some sort.
Right.
And in that one, it's this little like tiny little chicken shape, like sized robot, right? And they are testing. They literally brought them out to test their AI so they could walk around and interact and figure out, okay, what's working, what's not working. And they were scanning stuff. They were interacting with the crowds, and they are so cute. So, Mercedes, I need you to get on one of those for me.
Okay.
As soon as you're done with that, priorities, I get you. But when you're
right
done,
now, my two robotics projects are Amaterasu and Teriko, which Teriko is just going to be a little robot that I can control and run around, which I have already. I made a bot too.
But what if I commission you with my crisp $5 bill I have right here?
How crisp is it?
Very, very crisp. It would go through a vending machine once.
Wow. That's crisp. Oh, goodness gracious.
V-Fire, it is very great to have you on this podcast. I do feel like we should probably put some attention to our other guest/host.
Yes, who is our other?
Oh no.
Well, you might know her from doing some really fantastic cosplays that have literally won the World Cosplay Summit. I would like to introduce Pannon. Pannon, why don't you introduce yourself?
Oh, thanks.
Tell us about you.
Oh, thanks. So I'm Pannon, is the unholy combination of my real name and pandas. I also go by Pannonator, which is a reference to Trogdor burninating. I just like pannonating.
Wow, what a 2004 reference.
I know. I was almost 20 years old, and I don't want to admit that.
She's Pannon the Pannonator in my phone.
So I usually tell people I've been cosplaying since 2001, but I realized it was before that because I would dress up like in my cringe era to go to like school in half cosplays and things like that, and like try to make my own for Halloween and things like that. So probably longer than that. But yeah, I have competed all over the US and abroad. I was looking through like a spreadsheet I keep of all the costumes I've ever made. And I have won a little more than 60 awards nationwide.
Wow.
And I've gotten to represent the US twice in international competitions. First in 2014 as the part of the World Cosplay Summit. I was one half of Team USA. And then in 2017
Green
for
Jello
the Netherlands.
Cosplay! That's what it was.
Yeah. For the Netherlands C4 competition. So that's been really fun. I still compete sometimes. I've been having like a lot of trouble getting into competition post-pandemic, but I'm still working on different projects. I just need to like psych myself up to going out in public.
Mood.
I know. But I have also like gotten different kinds of work because of cosplay. I used to create mascots for some of the major league sports teams. So if you know, like the Chicago Bull, I got to help make that. The Jazz Bear for Utah. If I am sitting at dinner with you and we are somewhere that has sports on the TV, I'll usually look and be like, oh yeah, that one. My infamous is the New Orleans Pelican pre-redesign. Apparently terrified some people, but I swear I made it exactly to the specs they gave.
Yeah, sometimes the rights holder or the person giving you the paycheck, you just go, okay, I put in my feedback, and this is what we're doing.
Yeah, that is very... I also know some interesting things about many of the people who play mascots around the world. And after that, I got a job doing like dresses for photography. I did a couple for Red Carpet and our local fashion week. And I do this podcast.
It's a good podcast to do.
Yeah.
I hope so.
What was one of your like first like cosplays that you did?
Okay, so the first one I can think of, I did like 3 when I was first making cosplay because that's what I thought you did for conventions.
Mhm.
And this was
When I showed
like,
up to a convention with just one the first time, I was like, oh, I
I
did this
know.
wrong.
I didn't have that experience. I was like reading at the time, there was a magazine called An America,
Mhm.
and they would publish photos of cosplayers at different conventions around the US. And I just thought that was so cool. And then I'd go online and look for cosplayers, and I was like, well, I don't want to wear the same thing every day. So this is for a local sci-fi convention called Conduit, which I don't think is around anymore, which is sad. But I was really excited, and I was like, I could make like 3 things instead of 1 thing. Why would I just do 1 thing? So for that weekend, the first one I made was Selfie Tilmet from Final Fantasy VIII. She has like the little yellow sundress and nunchucks, and she was like my favorite character.
She's so
From
cute.
Yeah, she was really bubbly and fun, and I liked her a lot. I also did from Rurouni Kenshin, I did Kenshin.
Nice.
And then I was too afraid to do Inuyasha myself because I didn't like, I don't know, I was worried crossplay wasn't like acceptable, etc. Even though I wore Kenshin the other day, I was like, oh, I'm just girl version Kenshin.
Mhm.
Not that that's not a valid cosplay. I like gender bends.
But this was also a long time ago.
This
So
was a
like
long time ago.
we've come a long like around the world of like acceptance and understanding and whatnot.
Right.
Mhm.
Like I don't even know if that's the proper term. I think you're supposed to use cis swapped. But I did Kikyo from Inuyasha, and I made my brother dress up as Inuyasha, but I made both of the costumes.
Mhm.
Even though I really wanted to just be Inuyasha, but it's fine. So that was the first like con and the first costumes I actually made with the purpose of being like, this is cosplay.
Mhm. What
Yeah.
was your favorite competition? Not necessarily the outfit, but the
Oh,
competition that you were like, I had so much fun, or
oh my gosh.
the quality of the cosplayers were really great. It could be for any reason, just like, wow, this was top notch.
Yeah. The one that immediately comes to mind is the Anime Los Angeles competition.
Mhm.
And I feel like biased to say that because I run that now, but I wasn't running it then. That was like forever ago.
Mhm.
And it was run by some really amazing people. They do such a good job to make like the cosplayers feel welcome and their work appreciated. And I've tried really hard to replicate that as I have taken that contest.
Mhm.
But the one that sticks out in my brain is, I don't remember the year, but my friend Hina and I were doing a cosplay from Alice in the Country of Hearts, or Heart no Kuni no Alice, if you want the Japanese version. And she was Alice, and I was the Cheshire Cat. And it's from, it's a visual novel, like dating sim kind of game.
Love it.
It also has like some manga and whatever that came out, but I was really excited because I had heard such good things about this contest, and it was one of the first times I tried to go like really above and beyond for the costume. And
Mhm.
so we took the actual character references, but then we like just made them like bigger and more detailed, and like Alice's dress we turned into a ball gown, and like with the Cheshire Cat I added all these extra accessories, and I like really put thought into like how it would look in real life. And not that Cheshire Cat would be real life, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I tried a lot of new techniques, and I was just really proud of the costume. And it was also the first time I had ever won a Best in Show competition.
Whoa.
Like, I honestly thought that we would be going home without any prize at all. And I was fine with that because everyone in that room was really amazing.
Mhm.
Like, I was looking around the green room, and there were so many good costumes and so many great people. And I was just like, this is so cool. I've met like a whole bunch of new people, and I have all these crafting techniques I want to go home and learn. And it was just such friendly environment. And the people backstage were like cheering for everyone that won.
Oh, it's always so great to hear.
Yeah. And just being so supportive of each other. And I was just like, this is such an awesome competition. So that's the one.
That's awesome. I love that. Do you have a question, Mercedes?
I've been trying to think of one, but Pannon, like,
like, it's so exciting that we have you on our show. It's just, we would love to make you like a constant staple because like you're just so cool.
I'm glad. I would be so honored to be considered to come back.
So I asked this to V-Fire, but was like, is there a costume that you worked like? It was like really hard. It was really difficult, and you walked away with either like, "Oh man, I'm so proud of this," or it just it gives you a lot of feelings when you think about it. I'm just like, I worked so hard on this cosplay.
Oh, I mean, I think there's a few that would fit into that. I don't know. Like, I have a hard time not going like completely, just so hard on costumes sometimes that I don't finish them. If that makes sense, because I'll get so caught up on a singular little detail that I'm like, I get bored of it halfway through. I think I'm gonna think of the first one that I can put to memory, and that would be when I did Fi and Kurogane from Tsubasa Reservoir Chronicle. That was like, I don't know, I tried so many like new techniques and I worked really hard on it, and it was the first time I really considered like what it takes to I don't know, go into competition for my craft. And knowing a lot more about like what it would be like in the judging room and things like that. And so like I put work into like trying new techniques. I put a whole bunch of work into like my progress binder pictures. I did like sculpting. I did metal work. I did jewelry. I did sewing. I just wanted to have like a really good overall body of work to present. And I would say like I was really proud of that one at the time, and I feel like I still am a bit. I look back on it and go like, there are so many things I could do better now, but at the time I knew it was something that really pushed myself, and so I still feel really proud for that reason.
That's good.
Yeah, felt like I leveled up a little bit after that.
That's always a good feeling.
Yeah.
Which cosplayers have been like your like inspiration idols that you've seen over the years?
Oh man, I feel like I get asked this every time I am interviewed, and I never have a good answer for that. And I feel like I don't know. One of my favorite parts of cosplay is that it feels accessible. I don't necessarily feel like I know there are people who consider themselves cosplay idols, or people who will call someone a cosplay idol, but I feel like it's so accessible because, you can see so much of someone's work because they share it. There are so many people that are cool to just go up and talk to and interact with. I can tell you several people whose work I really look up to. I love Twinsic for their wig working, like just incredible and fun. I love the pair Cowbutt Crunchies for their sewing and tailoring and attention to detail and creative ideas.
I adore them so hard.
Yeah. Gosh, I love, what's her name? I think it's Miss Jade Cosplay on TikTok. She has like really impeccable makeup and just thinks of really fun like crossovers and does all these fun like videos and shoots. I love Midnight Persona because her TikToks are so much fun.
Oh, they're so
And
cute.
they're and
The
her
TikTok specifically, they are a cute person in and of itself. But I was like,
Yeah.
oh no, I want to make sure that I was clear on like my intention when saying that.
No. I think her character creation is just incredible. Like, she will come up with a new look for every wig, every outfit she owns, and no two are the same. Like, she is just so creative with that, and she is so good at like working with color and just coordinating these amazing looks. Yeah, so like it totally depends on like what your focus is. But there are just so many people, and like, granted, like if I meet a new cosplayer, I am sure I will look up to them about something spectacular that they have done or made or performed or danced or created. I just love meeting and learning from cosplayers.
I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah. So on that note, I think it's David's turn.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Wow.
Who's
my
this?
My name is David. I oftentimes go by Crest or Crest Sphinx online. That has been my tag for a very long time. And I have been cosplaying on and off again since about 2011. One of my first cosplays was a Hot Topic Captain America hoodie with the the face mask, a cheap Captain America shield, and my construction boots with my jeans turned slightly outside at the cuff.
I love it.
I went to Anime Bonsai again 2012, 2013, somewhere around there, with my then fiance, now wife, Kaylin, who Z had a modified Chun-Li cosplay, and it was absolutely killer.
Aww.
And had a great time. And that kind of kicked off like, ooh, that's really great. I think I'm gonna call myself an ADHD cosplayer because I will go where the serotonin goes, and I'm not always working on a new costume. I've probably only pulled off like maybe 4 or 5 cosplays that I can count. I'm more of an audio engineer and storyteller. I love making podcasts. I started originally doing a Dungeons and Dragons podcast called Dungeons and Chill, which is probably one of my I'm really proud of that. I wish I could have done it better, but things change, people change, stuff happens, and I've been doing this podcast for a cosplay thing. It's pretty good. I do a comic book podcast where I talk with my best friends about comic books and the meanings behind them. And then I have a audio drama that's fully voice acted with sound design and the whole 9 yards. And I do that just because it's like I love sharing stories with people. So those are the basics about me.
Nice.
Excellent.
So, David, Crest, how did you get the name Crest?
So I was at my friend's house. I was at my friend Jordan's house, and I was trying to think of a cool tag name for some online forum that will go unnamed, and I couldn't think of anything cool. And my buddy was like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna use that." And I was like, "All right, cool." And I decided that what I was going to do is I just kind of looked around, and my friend had one of those like the Sid Meier civilization chart of like, if you do this, it will progress into that. And I looked at it and I saw a crescent moon, and on a different timeline, it was a sphinx. And I was like, Crest Sphinx. And I literally said it out loud just like that, Crest Sphinx. And my buddy goes, "What are you talking about, dude?" I was like, don't worry about it. And that's been my tag ever since.
Nice. Okay.
That's awesome.
Okay. It's one of those, like, you never know where you're going to get nicknames from.
Right.
They
Right.
just kind of happen.
Yeah.
And then you can never change it.
You've been stuck. We've been stuck here for so long, you guys.
What you got, Mercedes?
Yeah, so I want to know, David, how your cosplay journey has grown since getting finagled into this podcast with us.
Oh, don't get confused. I did not get finagled. I jumped in. I was like,
Both
I'm all
feet.
in. I love the vibe. I'm here. Let's do this. Um, the cosplay journey has definitely, I feel like, taken a really sharp turn. I have a very close friend of mine. We've been friends probably since like 2012, 2013. Her name's Ginny, and she loves cosplay, and she's probably one of the, like, outside of you two, are one of the biggest people I know who does like loves cosplay. Doesn't do a lot of competition, just does things. I want to make things for myself. I want to make things for my nieces and nephews. I want to do things with my sister. And they go to FanX every year, and they make really fantastic dresses. They did a fantastic Hawkeye. One of my pride and joy photos is me, her, and Chris Evans standing there with him, and she's Hawkeye. I'm pre-serum Captain America, and I handed Chris Evans my shield, and on it I had taped a piece of paper that says after, and I was holding a before sign. Very, very proud of that joke.
Nice.
She was all on board. She knew exactly what she was getting into. She's fantastic. And so she's been like a huge motivator, but like hearing every week talking about cosplay, it was just kind of like, okay, maybe I can do this. Maybe I want to do this. And again, I've only done a small handful of them. I've done that Captain America. I've done a D&D character. I did Michael Carpenter from the Dresden Files. I've done the Hollow Knight from the game Hollow Knight. And I think that's like the big ones that I can name that I've... Oh, and I did Harley Quinn. I can't forget Harley Quinn.
And Freddie Mercury.
We don't talk about the Freddie Mercury one.
No!
It's fine. It was fine. It was just a really bad mustache that I was trying to pull off. It wasn't even my own mustache. It was just a mustache. So yeah, I did do that one.
Nice.
But yeah, it's been a great journey, because like when I listen to these people who have done it for so long, that have all these connections and all these people that they know as part of the community, it's like, oh, I can do this too. But again, it comes down to my ADHD, and I just follow the serotonin sometimes.
Fair. What is like your dream cosplay? Whether you make it, order it, whatever, what is like the thing you would most love to wear to a convention?
Right now, it kind of bounces between two. I would love to do a full Berserk armor guts from Berserk, with the appropriately sized for me scale Dragon Slayer, the armor, the helmet, like with like the wolf face mask kind of thing. I think that'd be so cool. I would love to do like a 3D print on that one. I think that'd be great. The other one is I would love to do Zero from Borderlands 2.
I thought you were going to say Mega Man, and I was like, what?
I would love to do a Mega Man. It's high on my list, but it's not as high. Like, those are the main two that I'm like, I would love to do that. With like the full LED lights and kind of that neon with he's got like a digital scroll thing going on in his faceplate, so he can portray his emotions without saying anything. So he has like little emotes that pop up on his face when he's like, he gets a critical kill or something like that. You see like a little heart, or when he's healing somebody, he has a little frowny face because they're down. I would love to have something like that in there as well. Yeah, those are my big two.
Nice. That is awesome. What has been one skill that you've acquired through cosplay that you're really proud of, and what do you want to give a try? A
skill that I've become really proud of is patterning. When I did my Hollow Knight cosplay, it was one of the most baffling things to make the helmet piece, because it's just it's X-Angel pointed out, they're mandibles. It's a beetle's mandibles kind of thing, but it sits on my head, and it was just like, how do I make this work? And I went through 4 or 5 different iterations of how to make it work. I was going to have it sit on a helmet. I was going to have it sit on this thing. I was going to have like a welding helmet that it was going to work. All these different options. And so I ended up getting a bunch of like insulation foam. It wasn't the pink sheets, but it was similar. And I literally carved it down, and I shaped it, and I taped over it, and I cut out the pattern, and I worked on that like twice. I did 2 different versions, and I never thought I would ever be able to like make something literally out of nothing. Like it was a 2D image that I made real. I'm so proud of that I learned how to do that kind of more or less on my own. I watched a lot of tutorials on how people did it, but when you're, hey, I have this one character and no one's ever done it before, it was really daunting. On the second half of something that I would love to learn, it's sewing. I always want to be better at sewing. I get so frustrated with it so quickly because it just doesn't work the same way. I can't see it come together the same way that I can see foam or a prop come together, you know?
It's a lot harder to think about because there's like weirder shapes to deal with.
Yeah, that's why I said at the top of the order, like, I'm not doing that devil French stitch tuck maneuver. It's the devil's work and I won't touch it.
So you gave us like a couple of really good stories about like Captain America. What's your favorite moment from a convention?
Okay. So I did the pre-serum Captain America, and I had after the photo shoot with Chris Evans, I changed the sign and it just said waiting for my super soldier serum. It was mostly a store-bought cosplay, and there's nothing wrong with store-bought cosplays. We love store-bought cosplays. But I modified it so that way it would fit me because I'm a little guy, and I got like custom printed S. Rogers and U.S. military 1940 something. I was really proud of it. And on the shield, I had changed the sign to waiting for my super soldier serum. And a lot of people thought it was really funny. And just, I remember getting swarmed by people of like, oh my gosh, I would love a photo with you. And that was like really great. But that's not the one that like always stays in my mind. Some person comes up to me and she looks me dead in the eyes, and she's probably about my age. And she goes, would you accept a pin on the behalf of a charitable organization? And I was like, okay. And she did that thing where she puts something in your hand and closes your fingers around it so you can't see it. And she leans in real close and she goes, "Hail Hydra," and runs. And I open up my hand and it's a Hydra pin.
Oh
and
my
I still have that pin, and it makes me so stinking happy every single time. Just like, I don't know who that person is. I will never know who that person is, but they made that, like, besides meeting Chris Evans himself, they made the whole experience for me worthwhile.
That's awesome. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So good.
Well, I have like one final question for all of us because we kind of mentioned it at the beginning of the episode, but we talked about change. And I want to ask you guys, like, what ways have you changed since our first episode? What has changed about like the way you view cosplay, or like your skill set, or anything about you personally? Who wants to go first? I mean, I can go first.
I'll go first.
Okay.
This is a big one, and I have not even prefaced this with you guys yet. My pronouns have changed.
Oh, nice.
I'm very, very nervous to tell my best friends this and mention this on the podcast, but if I can't mention it in front of my community, I don't know where I would feel comfortable mentioning it. I mentioned in our Pride episode of like, hey, my gender feelings have changed. And I wasn't ready to so publicly talk about it, but my pronouns are no longer he, him, where I started. My pronouns are now Fae Fair, Fae-Faer. I don't feel like a man most days. I don't feel like a girl most days. And so it kind of fluctuates, and I felt that was rather fitting for me. And I started this very firmly being like, I am man. I love being man, but I'm very happy with who I was at that time, and I still am very proud of that person. But I have figured out that I don't always feel like a boy. I don't always feel like any gender. Sometimes I do feel more boy-like. Sometimes I do feel more girl-like. So I have started buying clothes that fit me for the time that I'm feeling. I even mentioned this when we were doing our live stream of like, I don't feel like a boy today. So here's me meeting you all in the middle, because wasn't quite there yet. And I was really nervous of like, I should have this conversation soon because I want to make sure that my friends know. But here you go. This is me coming out, and also a big way that I've changed since we started the podcast and since I started cosplaying.
Yay! That is awesome. Thank you for sharing. I am very proud of you. Oh god, that takes a lot to be that vulnerable, and I am like just so thrilled that like this has been part of your journey, and that has been something that you were willing to open up with us about. Like that is so cool.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
I'm like, I need to update the website.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving you all more work. I'm sorry.
Oh no.
What about you, V-Fire? I know it's hard to come after that.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that I went out of all of your guys'
I think I'm like for me personally, on my own gender stuff, I've gotten a little bit more used to my feminine side. Embracing that a little bit more rather than just going, no, masculine stuff.
Yeah.
So that's been nice. But I think like the biggest thing is that like my self-confidence and willingness to kind of like stand up for myself has grown a lot more. That, or I've just gotten older and I'm like, I don't care anymore. Hey, don't do that thing to other people now.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's a lot less of like getting stuck in my shell and more like willing to be a little bit more vocal about things that I'm passionate about and defend. So yeah.
That's so cool. I really love that.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, Bannon. Your turn.
Oh, thanks. Man, I feel like I have been on a very like similar journey as far as just like being able to share and talk about ourselves and our passions and our hobbies and our just love of things in general, and to be vulnerable not just about like our identities but our mental health.
Mhm.
Has really cultivated a good environment for growth. And I hope our listeners feel the same way about that. For me, I like at the start of the podcast, I definitely didn't put much of a toe into like gender and identity and that sort of thing, or at least I was not vocal and open about it, because like I was scared and I didn't feel safe at all. I would go to Pride every year and I would love to see all these people having a great time, but like yeah, I think one of the like coolest moments for that for me was so at ALA one year we had Pros and Cons Cosplay,
Love them.
who are an absolutely amazing sibling duo. And I was introducing myself. I said, like, any pronouns are fine. And one of them stopped me and was like, but what ones are you comfy with today? And I was just like, I about started crying because I was just like, oh my God, like, no one has asked me that, because I'm usually just like, you can call me whatever. And that's fine. But it was just like one of those personal revelations through cosplay that I loved. So yeah, I would say that like that has definitely helped in my journey. I love how we have grown in, gosh, just within our community. Hearing from all the folks at home about like their projects, hearing about their love of crafting and passion, and is just such a beautiful lens to see the world in. And it really has helped me through like a lot of hard times throughout the years. I feel like the world has been changing so much and so rapidly, and like this is the one place that still feels like, you know, like home as far as like the things that I love and the things I love to spend time on. Yeah, so I guess those are the things for me.
I love that. I love that.
That was a fun episode, you guys.
That was a good one.
And I'm trying not to cry at the end.
Aww.
Me too.
Love you guys. So now that we've all like opened up all our vulnerable little hearts, are you ready for something to break them?
Yes, let us do that by talking about our
Horror stories. Spooky, spooky, spooky.
Who we got today?
Still, it's the best thing that I've ever
This
made.
is my favorite soundbite.
Oh, I worked so hard on you don't like getting scared senseless every time I do Cosplay Chronicles? This one comes from our Discord. We have a whole channel dedicated just to cosplay horror stories. This one is from Trafkaz, and they write, I'm in a good mood today, so I felt like sharing one of my best con memories. Whoa, this is gonna work out so great, you guys!
Yay!
There is no moral to this one, only good vibes. I don't even remember what year this was, but I think maybe it was 2014. My friend and I had just spent 4 beautiful summer days at our favorite convention/outdoor nerd festival. It was after midnight on the last night of the con. The Nordic Cosplay Championships was just over, and everyone was in a hyped and happy mood as leaving the main stage area. My friend and I decided to take one last tour of the premises for the con and feel the good energy before calling it a night. We walked up to the main area and we watched people dancing at the last rave of the con while talking about all the fun we had the past days. And then it happened. Kiaru Pamu Pamu song Pon 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 came on full blast over the speakers. People laughed and danced and sang it, and then bam! Fireworks started shooting off the roof of the main building, and it left everyone watching in amazed awe and cheering.
Wow.
If I ever had an anime moment with sparkle emojis around it in my life, it was this one, and I don't think I will ever forget just how magical that moment felt.
Oh my god, like that sounds like a movie. Like
right? Right? Like
so fun.
I expect like some 41 or something like that to be like the undertone music of like
Oh, that was cute.
That's
Thank you for
super
sharing.
cute.
Oh, my
and it
gosh.
timed out so perfectly. Thank you, Trofkaz, for sharing that.
Yay. If our listeners at home want to share one of their scary stories, their happy stories, or just tell us what you've been working on, you can do that a multitude of ways. First is our email, which is cosplaystitchandseam@gmail.com,
Or you can go to our website, cosplaystitchandseam.com, and fill out our contact forms, or
go to the Facebook page. Let us know what you're working on while you're there. Join our fantastic community or join our Discord. You can find the link on our website. We would love to see you there. And while you're on the internet, if you want to help out the show, something that you could do that is absolutely no cost to yourself is just share the podcast with a friend. Let them know this is a great episode to get started on. These are the people that I enjoy listening to for whatever weird reason, because we're a bunch of weirdos. But hey, we're your weirdos. And if you want to help the show algorithmically, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. I think those are the only 2 places you can leave them left. And if you have a few bucks in your pocket and you want to help pay for the overhead fee of the website and hosting the podcast feed and all that stuff, we do have a Patreon, patreon.com/cosplaystitch. Some of the amazing people that we need to thank this time are Jack S., Cynthia Eve Cosplay, Star Fetcher, Troff Kaz, Lydia, Yggdrasil, Dr. Steggy, Cynics, Hot Riku, Rena Mira, Jazzy Kofed, Jaguar Quinn, Gloria Shu, Sudi, and Silver Thieves.
Thanks as always to Macee Roberts for the use of her music as our theme song, and to David Jeffress for his amazing editing. How are your other podcasts going, David?
They are going so stinking great. We have Comic Trades Monthly. It is my podcast where we talk about your favorite comic book collection in a book club format. We talked about Judge Dredd and the satire that is Judge Dredd. It was very, very interesting because it's about an outside look on the American judicial system, and I was very, very fascinated by the takeaways of that one. And if you like audio dramas in time for spooky season, there is The Last Voice. It is scary. It is a slow burn. It's got zombies. It's got feelings. It's got everything that you could ever want, and I am so proud of it. So go check those 2 out.
do it.
Nice.
Yeah.
So hey,
Uh-oh,
did you
bracing
know?
for it.
Are you bracing for it? Did you know Cthulhu likes to cosplay?
Oh, does he?
Yeah, he Lovecrafts. Bye, guys. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Sorry. I didn't see the counter start, so I was like, did it go? Hi, guys. Welcome